Going on, guys? This is Ton from 12 Volt Mods. Um, Today I'm actually going to do an actual proper showing of actually how to properly and make sure your electronics are 100% waterproof. I mean, there's so many different ways of doing it. There's Corrosion X, um, there's Plasti Dip and everything. But I tell you the truth, all that stuff doesn't really work well. After time, it does wear and it does come off, and it doesn't like heat too much. Um, I have a different method of doing it, and I actually like to use shoe goo or goop. The reason why it actually makes an actual bond to the actual electronics and actually sticks to it, and this way you don't need a shitload of it to actually coat whatever you're doing, and you can actually make your electronics nice and looking stock again. So this one here is a stock one, and this one here is an actual one that's been waterproofed already. Now you can't even really tell that this one's been waterproofed, but if you actually look closely, you can actually see there's coating inside of it. It's kind of hard to see, but there is. So what I'll do, it's the same ESC as this one. I'm actually going to waterproof this one here and show you how easy it is to do. Now, again, there's my method's a little bit different. I don't just cover everything and then that's it. But let's start. First, you got to remove the case. As you can tell, take it right out of the case. What I like to do with my electronics is I actually like to clean them. So I'll use an electronic cleaner, but it doesn't take the actual manufacturer's coating off of it. This cleaner just cleans off all this kind of like silicone debris and all that off of it. Just make sure it's nice and clean. And it's real simple. And then the stuff I use is goop. Really easy stuff to use. It is a little messy, but if you take your time, you won't make a mess. This stuff works amazing. What I do recommend is let your electronics dry for at least a couple days after you do your waterproofing. I've been using this stuff for a very long time, and I have not had one thing of electronics actually fail on me because of it. So, make sure all your pieces are clean. We'll start with the base. Now the base is real simple. Because it's going to be sitting inside this case, what I like to do is I'll just do this. I'll just take the goop and I'll start dabbing the bottom of the electronics. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because it'll spread the goop out. Now, as you can see, the bottom is fully coated now. Now, before you actually stick this into the bottom case, what I like to do is see these sides where the heat sinks are. I'll just start to scrape some goop on it. All along the sides. The reason why you're doing this is because when you put it in the case, the sides is the hardest part to actually get to. So that's why I do the sides and that in the bottom. Real simple. Then what I do is I'll just slowly slide it back in its case. Now as you can see how hard it is to actually get into the sides. That's why I do the sides right away. On this type of ESC that has this kind of a case. Now, to do the rest, it's real simple. You just take the goop. Oh, it's starting to run out. Same process, just scrape it in. Right? Now, this is going to be a little bit harder to do because I just got to do this. And then this side where it has the capacitor and everything, you just gotta squeeze it right into the hole. Just just glob it in there. Same with the wiring. Just squeeze it in there. Now, after done that, just let it sit and just give it a moment. And what will happen is the actual goop will actually start to settle. It will actually sink. It will actually form around everything. Now, this is the perfect time to actually put the case back on, because if there is some actual goop that's sticking out or something like that, it will actually be a hard time if it's hard to actually put the case back on. So put the case back on right now. So just stick the wires through. And then as the wirings, as you can see, it sticks out a little bit, just a little bit exposed. Just wiggle it around just to get the goop around it. And there you go, you're done. Just let it sit for about, 2 or 3 days. After it's all totally cured and settled, it'll actually coat everything that the board's on. It'll actually settle down, and it'll totally 100% waterproof the actual ESC. I've done this to many RC equipment. I think I've done like 100 ESCs, 100 receivers, BECs, anything that's electronic that you want waterproof. You can actually do it with this method. It doesn't matter what it is: RC four-wheel drive winch controller, your speed controllers, your receivers, servos. So if you don't want to spend high dollars on a high torque servo that's waterproof, you can actually waterproof your own servo yourself, which is a very easy method to do. There is a couple other extra steps to do with the waterproof servos, but other than that, it's real simple. It's pretty much the same process. It's just that with like the potentiometers and everything, what I like to do is I like to use like a 2-in-1 gear oil, like machining oil. I just dab it onto the potentiometer, turn it a couple times, and I'll actually keep it coated for like ever. You don't have to worry about it. Other than that, I like to use dielectric grease or marine grease on the gearing. You don't have to pack it or anything like that. It's just, it repels water. That's all. And then the circuit board, it's the same process. Just lightly smear some goop around it. Smear it around. Just make sure everything's coated, and then shove it back in, and away you go. But other than that, it's very simple to do. I hope this actually helps you. Again, like I said, this is the simplest way to do it, because it actually will form itself to the actual surface that it's working with and just cure itself. So, easy to do. Hope you liked the video, and comment if you have any questions.